Yeah, okay, guys. You can see my screen, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, fine. So far, till yesterday's session, we have discussed about basics of object-oriented programming. What is object-oriented programming and the basic building blocks of object-oriented programming. What is class, what is object, how to create a class, the syntax of class, how to create an object from that class, syntax for creating the object, and how to design the class from real-time scenarios. From real world scenarios. So how to pick the objects, means classes, and how to pick the class member attributes, and means how to design the classes for real world entities or real time scenarios that we have understood, and we have written classes and objects for that real time scenarios classes and real time entities, and we have understood how to deal with the data, how to specify the parameters for the methods, on what basis we need to have parameters for the methods. All this we understood, right? Now we start with object oriented programming features. Object oriented programming provides a certain powerful and more useful features which will be very helpful in the which will be very helpful in application development. So what are these features and how do we use these features? Let's understand now. So what are the object oriented features? Coming to object oriented features, we can say like abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. These four are the basic features of object oriented programming approach, and with this we have several advantages, and which makes our programming more easier, and more whatever code we are writing in our system, that is reusable. All that we can understand. So let us see what are these one by one. So now abstraction. So what is abstraction? Abstraction, we can say in simple words, we can define about abstraction like mm, exposing necessary information and ignoring about non about unnecessary information or non-relevant information. This is abstraction. Generally, the definition kind of thing, what we can say here, exposing necessary information and ignoring non-relevant information hmm, is abstraction. Is abstraction. Now, in other words, in simple general English, what we can say about abstraction: taking needed information and ignore not needed information or not needed in things. Hmm. So in simple terms, we can say taking, we are going to take, or we are going to deal with only needed information, and we will ignore unnecessary information or not needed information. That is abstraction. So now With abstraction, what is the advantage? Abstraction makes system representation simple and easy use. So abstraction makes the system representation simpler, and using that system will become easy to use. So uh, next, what else we can say about abstraction? To implement abstraction, we define classes, or while defining classes, we are implementing abstraction. Clear? So how do you implement or achieve abstraction in your systems? The basic level of abstraction we are defining, hmm, we are achieving through class definitions. By whenever you are defining a class in your application, in your software development, or in your program, that is nothing but you are doing the abstraction only. Okay, guys. So these points are basic points. Of course, everywhere single point only. I am just telling in different ways. So you need to remember. Hmm? The advantage with abstraction, it makes your system representation easy and simple, and making your system usage is easy. And to implement abstraction, we define the how to achieve abstraction or implement the abstraction by defining the class. While defining classes, we are implementing abstraction. Like this it goes, right? Now, how can we say class definition is abstraction? It is very simple. How do you define a class? Whenever you are defining a class, what you are taking? See, yesterday we have defined several classes, right? Like a flat class we have defined, our floor plan class we have defined, and uh, real estate project we have defined, right? So when we are defining this, what are the information or what are the data members we are capturing into this class? Only needed information we are taking. If we say flat, we may be, we have taken this one, like a super built up area, carpet area in square meters, open terrace area in square meters, external walls area with square meters, or plinth area, like this we have taken. But about the flat, are this only the properties that we may have? We may have even some other attributes also for a flat, right? About flat information. Every flat will be having the flat number also, right? Yeah, guys. Do we have flat number or not? Huh? So take flat number, that also we need. And corresponding to every flat, there would be some maintenance charge also, or not? Yeah, Shishir. So maintenance charge, what we can say? What is the data type? Money. Money means it could be float or double. Okay. When decimal points are there, we should go for float or double. So maintenance charge or maintenance fee. Next, we may have for each and every flat, if there will be electric meter also or not?
Okay.
Electric connection will be there. For that electric connection, meter number will be there, right? Service number. So we can take it as string electric meter number. Right, like this we have, if we think we'll be having so many other properties, like a number of water taps in each and every flat, and water meter number, and parking, how many vehicles parking is available, two-wheeler parking, how many two-wheelers parking is available, how many four-wheelers parking available, right? So many attributes are there or not. Now, but why we have taken only this? Why we have not taken this flat numbers, maintenance charge, electric meter numbers, all this? Why we have not taken?
Basic information.
Based on the context for whom we are developing this software, for whom we are writing this flat class. Now, for real estate development construction company, right? So the real estate realtor, the builder, does he need the flat number or maintenance charge and electric meter numbers? He doesn't bother about that. To run the real estate business, what are required? What is the built up area? What is the carpet area? What is the plinth? What are the walls? These are required, right? In real estate project, when we are dealing with real estate project context, based on the area, flats should be sold, right? Not based on the flat number, right? So when we flat is selling, do we consider the flat number? Based on the flat number, do we give the amount or rate? Rate will not be fixed based on the flat number or maintenance charge. That maintenance charge will be related to this association, apartment residents association or the owners association, right? Flat number and maintenance charge, and electric meter number required for flat owner to pay his bills, right? Electric bills. But for the realtor or for a real estate builder, why do they need this information? Do they need this information? No, right? So that's why we ignored it. We did not even think about this. We just thought about the required information for the builder construction. During the construction, what is the area they have to use to construct every flat that they require, not the flat numbers or maintenance charges and all, right? You're getting the point, guys? Hari, Shishir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here we have taken only the needed information into our class definition, and we ignored this information. We are ignoring this information, right? No, even though for every entity there will be lots of properties and lots of information may be available about every real world entity, but in our programs, we consider only the required information corresponding to the project which we are developing, software which we are developing. Based on the domain, what we are taking, based on that, we take the information. That is what abstraction. Abstract is nothing but just a simplified representation of the system. If we include all these properties, your flat class will become more and more bigger, right? If it becomes more and more bigger, it will be very difficult to deal with your biggest class or not. Dealing with a small class or required information is simpler, or dealing with all unnecessary information also, which is simple, which is easier. Obviously, dealing with the limited data which is required for our business is simple and easy, right? Including unnecessary things, everything, what happens? It makes system more complex. Your class is more bigger and dealing with so if you add 50 properties here, then when you are writing set flat details, then what you need to do, 50 property values you need to set here or not, which is difficult for you or not? Yeah, guys, are you understanding, are you relating?
Yes, sir.
So that is the uh, concept of abstraction. Basically, abstraction means just extract or expose, means from our class what we are showing or what we are exposing only necessary information, and we are ignoring all this unnecessary information. This is nothing but abstraction. Hmm? For this real estate business, this information is unrelevant, right? So we are ignoring properties. Hmm? And these are relevant information, relevant or necessary information or properties, real estate builder business. Always we need to think about the uh, end user business. In the context of end user business, whichever is required, that only we need to collect, not everything. Hmm? Uh, so this process is nothing but abstraction. This is nothing but what? Abstraction. So when we are thinking about a needed information, when we are creating the class only, that's why we call it as abstraction. Okay, got the point, guys? I hope it's clear, right, guys? So now mm, and next, encapsulation. Hmm? So what is encapsulation? Any idea, guys?
Caps.
Capsule. So capsule is having different combinations of medicines and
Yes, sir.
which is helping protecting that medicine from outside world, right?
Yes, sir.
So similarly here also we do the encapsulation, we do implement encapsulation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so here mm, next concept is encapsulation. Encapsulation means what we can say, binding together different entities into a single unit is encapsulation. In other words, we can say wrapping wrapping different entities or different things into a common or into a same unit is encapsulation. And with encapsulation or putting together different types of things into single cover or single package is called encapsulation. And uh, what is the purpose of encapsulation to implement, or what is the advantage that we get with encapsulation is encapsulation provides security for the entities binded or wrapped into a single unit. So whatever things we are putting together into a single unit, that will be protected. Provide security into a single unit to provide security for the entities wrapped into single unit from external world or outside world, we can say. So this is encapsulation. Okay guys, these points you need to remember. And how to implement encapsulation, the basic level of encapsulation also we can implement by defining the class. So what we can say, to implement encapsulation we define classes. Defining classes is nothing but encapsulation also. So whenever you are defining a class, that's nothing but you are implementing two object oriented programming features. What are that? One is abstraction and other one is encapsulation. So while defining the classes, what you are doing, you are how you are defining the class. See, in the class you have put together different information, right? Data members and member methods. So here these are representing the data and these are representing the behavior. Means these are data entities, these are behavioral entities. So that means different types, right? These are representing the data and these are representing the behavior. Data and behavior you are putting together into a single unit, right? Inside a class, a single unit called a class, right? You are putting together into a class, right? So this process is nothing but encapsulating. This process is nothing but encapsulating, right? So it is something like why we are putting together these data elements and member methods into single unit, to protect them from outside world, to protect them from outside world. That means what? If you want to use any of these member variable, directly you cannot use in the main class. Can you directly use as bua equal to means super built up area equal to 1,000 or carpet area equal to 800, like that? Can you write? No, right? So you cannot write. If you want to set any values for this member variables, so what you required? You required, see, in bottle we have bottle factory we have. So for bottle, if you want to set any values, Bottle 1 dot, the object you should use. You should use object. Without object, directly you cannot write a size in ml. Without object, directly you cannot write size in ml, right? If you write like this, what happens? It will give you error, right? Yeah, guys, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So if you want to make use of that data members, or if you want to make use of that member methods, if you want to call them, what is compulsory? It is compulsory to have the object. It is compulsory to have the object, right? Without object, we cannot access any data members or member methods. So that means what? The data is hidden behind the object. Behind the object. Only through object only you can access the data or data members of a class. So this is what we are referring as providing the security for entities wrapped into a single unit. Clear? The basic level of abstraction and basic level of security encapsulation we can achieve through class definitions itself. So what we can say now, by abstraction and encapsulation both go together hand in hand. Both will go together in hand, both go together simultaneously. Whenever you are creating a class, that doesn't mean that does mean that you are implementing uh, both the features, encapsulation and uh, abstraction. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, yeah, Shishir, are you getting the point? Shishir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So this is about abstraction and encapsulation, and of course we will be having different levels of abstraction. We can go in different granular level of abstraction implementation, and of course encapsulation implementations also, that we will be discussing in further sessions. Okay, to try to understand. Okay, today we pass here. Tomorrow we'll continue with further concepts. So how do we implement encapsulation in further levels, and abstraction later we'll discuss more level abstraction, but encapsulation tomorrow we'll discuss how do we control the encapsulation, the visibility, like with the help of access modifiers we can control the encapsulation data hiding. So how to do that, that we'll try to understand tomorrow. Okay, let's pause here today. Tomorrow we'll continue
Okay.
with access modifiers, guys. So once the topic completed, I will share the notes, so all these points also. Okay. Okay, guys, bye for today. Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.